All right, so this is a new series I'm starting called Office Hours, and this is just a series where I answer questions about any content that I may have posted or things that you have questions about. I just think sometimes it's easier to see it done in a video tutorial rather than be explained. So the first, I guess, question I'm going to answer is a question that comes from Scott Barton, who's looks like over at Kansas State University, an assistant professor, someone who has come with a question about exporting PDFs. And so I'm going to read through this communication and let's see if we can dissect this problem. So I'm going to just read from the email. One of my desires is to be able to run a sketch for some length of time and then print that on a pen plotter. I'm operating under the assumption that I need to get my visual to a vector format so I can feed it through Inkscape. And that is generally true. I've done some tutorials on exporting stuff from processing and getting it as, I think, as a PDF or an SVG kind of format, and that can be read and interpreted by Inkscape and then fed to the AxiDraw, a pen plotter that I use, but there are others out there. So Scott writes, I have tried the many frames into one file with screen display method as described on the processing reference page for PDF export, and that's a really good reference to look at. I was able to capture a PDF, but it isn't giving me the lines beyond the current frame's triangle, despite having a no fill and also trying with a 0 set for the alpha as seen below. So you're seeing here what the PDF is looking like. This is the like a white background and black lines on it. And then Scott writes, but I really want to see through and the remnants of the other frames like this, which is what I see on my screen. So these are two different frames. One is probably like a screen grab or saving a PNG or something, and the other one is that PDF. So Scott was nice enough to send over the code, which is really helpful in dissecting this. So I'm going to go ahead and look at that code right now. So here's the code, and I'll talk through this and then explain kind of what the solution is for this. So first line is importing the PDF processing library. Then you have a global variable theta, which is set to 0. Inside the setup, which again is only run once, is the size, the background, setting it to black, the stroke, setting it to white, which is 255 with an alpha of 100, no fill on it, and then the begin record format and the file name. One thing to keep in mind already, I didn't dissect it from here, but when you put where you put the begin record is really important, because it's only going to really capture stuff that comes after this line, except for maybe the size up here. But things like background stroke and no fill are not going to be actually included in the PDF. So we'll show kind of what issues that creates. The code itself looks like incrementing the X and the Y and creating triangles from using some static locations and also locations that are some static locations, and then these incrementing locations. So that's what's happening, and then it's you can see the increment to theta, which is changing the value. And then this is really important too. If you want to save the PDF, it looks like in order to end record and to exit out of the program, you have to hit Q to exit. So I'm going to run it and just show you what that means or what this looks like. This is what Scott wants to draw, and maybe like have it on a black background and have this white kind of on top. But when I hit Q to quit and then save it, and I'm going to hit Command K to look at my files here. So this is that PDF that came out. I want to open this up in Illustrator. Okay, so this is what came out, and you can see it has a white background, it has black lines. So like I said in the code, this block right here does not really get captured inside of the PDF. So that's why you're not seeing the formatting come through. And if I go into my PDF here, sorry, my palette, my Illustrator is a bit of a mess, but you can see that the default here is set to a white fill with a black stroke. And if I go and view the outlines, I hit Command Y, you can see all the lines that are underneath. So really, if I wanted it to look like what I had in the sketch, I could go in and, well, I'll set no fill probably set this to white with the exception of maybe that there's this background, which I think is what should be black. Yeah, there you go. Whoops. I'll set that to black and get rid of the border. And then it's something like this. I think what you're also seeing is these lines are coming in a little bit thick. So let me just. One thing you can do is also in your PD in here go to select same. Let's say stroke color, because I think these are all the same stroke color, and then you probably want to go into your stroke and obviously this won't make a difference really if you're plotting it, because it's going to depend on the size of the pen or pencil that you're using. But you can see I can actually go in, and if I want to reformat this, I could do that all here. So I always think of processing as like an intermediate step to get the final result that I want. A lot of times, because you can take that video and you can format it, filter it, and you can do the same with a static image. So keep that in mind. And again, thanks, Scott, for sending over a question, and I hope this answers it. And if you have any other questions or things that you'd like to know, feel free to reach out. We'll hopefully be continuing this series as we go forward. All right, thanks, everyone.